All right, I am back to talk about what led me to choosing to work with NACA. And if you haven't seen the first video, go back and check that out so you know where I am and where I'm coming from. After I saw Tia's house and I caught that home buying bug, like I mentioned, I went to a home buying workshop that her realtor was hosting the next week. I went to that, dragged my friend along with me, and got a lot of valuable information and started working with her. I hit the ground running, obviously, because when you want to do something, you start on it. And that's the first step. You got to actually launch out, get out there. But I started working with her and also one of her preferred lenders. And I want to mention, if you are new to home buying, or if you're already in the process, if you haven't started, if you haven't thought about it, when you get into searching for a home, working with realtors, working with lenders, just know that for the most part, they're not there to educate you. They're there to sell you a product. And realtors, they might not give you all the information you wish that they were giving you. They might not hear you and understand where you're coming from as much as you would like them to. And lenders, they're looking at numbers. They're assigning you numbers. They might not know exactly what you're doing or what you're working with. So you don't want to lean too heavily into putting all of your faith in just the information that they're providing you. Because at the end of the day, they're only giving you a little bit. You have to still be a thinker. You still have to be a doer. You have to educate yourself, learn, find out what the market is doing, find out what's happening around you. There's a lot. There's a lot. But you got to study to show yourself approved. So I was looking at these numbers that the realtor was giving to me, and because of the information that Tia gave me and where she was at and the cost of her home and her monthly expenses and things like that, I knew that I wanted to be significantly lower than that. So the numbers she was giving me were higher than where I wanted to be at, even though she was saying that's where I would qualify. And so that was one thing. And then the other thing, as I began to look at homes, I saw one that I really liked. The Lord saved me from that one, because I must say the house that I ended up purchasing is way better than that one. Even though I really liked that one, the Lord allowed that to just not happen. But in my area, in my budget, a lot of the homes that we were seeing were, they seemed mostly like LLC owned homes that had a quick flip or whatever the case may be, and it wasn't necessarily the best. But some of them had them high price tags on it, but the work, I saw one house, y'all, it was crazy. The siding looked like I did it, and I don't know anything about siding. There was gaps in the floor, and these people wanted $299,000. And I passed the crackhead on my way out. No. No. So, things like that had me like, yeah, what is really going on? And many of the homes that I saw still needed a lot of work to be done, or the work that was done just wasn't up to the standard that I was looking for. And I got a lot of, oh, well, you can't get everything that you want on your first home. You gotta be flexible, and you've got to realize that you're not going to be in this home forever. Nobody stays in their first home forever, and yada yada yada, and all this stuff. That has nothing to do with the fact that I want to move into something that's quality and that I can be proud of. And further, if the homes that are being showed to me are already at the very top of my affordability, with what money am I going to make it what I need it to be? At what point am I going to have enough money to fix the issues that are around the house? I mean, it's wild. Yes, we do have to be a little bit flexible. We do have to, temper ourselves a little bit, because some of the things that we want sometimes that we're turning down, it's not that serious. Like, oh, I wanted a glass door and this doesn't have a glass door. That's probably not the place to be. But things like just the quality of the work being done in the home, or anything like that. All of those things, you want to make sure that whatever you're getting is what you're going to be happy with, because you're spending your money on it. Nothing should be something that you come home to and it doesn't bring you joy. You work every day and you come home and you pull into the yard and you're like, ew, I don't like this house. That would feel terrible. And I knew it would feel terrible for me. And, I also knew that I was coming from a certain home. I didn't grow up in no mansion or anything like that. But one thing my grandma and my aunt always did was keep a nice home, clean and painted and refreshed. I come from no crazy looking house. So why there seemed to be a lack of understanding why I didn't want to move into something that was not like what I was coming from, at the standard of where I was coming from, it's a no. So after I went on with this for about a month and a couple of weeks maybe, I was like, see, these prices, the money is not lining up to me. I'm not trying to be house poor. I'm not trying to be putting all my money in something and I can't really afford it. That's not what I was looking for. And I also don't want a piece of junk. I don't want that. I didn't want something that was less than what I needed it to be. So I started, I was already researching. I was already looking at various YouTube pages. There were lots of things that I began to find or people that I started to come across that I saved in certain things I saved in my playlist, and that's information that I want to be able to share later. I have a whole playlist that I started to save things, so eventually I'll open up that playlist so that you guys can be able to see all of those videos that I saved there that had important tidbits that I thought would be useful to you guys one day. And in my going to and fro and trying to find out information about home buying and what we should be doing, what we should be looking for, what the numbers should be looking like, I came across NACA. I came across it somewhere. It was mentioned, and I had never heard of it. I wasn't familiar with it, and I didn't do anything with it right then. It was maybe a couple of weeks later when I actively started looking for information on NACA, because I knew that the process that I was in, it wasn't going to work for me. So I started looking up things. I did not have an easy time finding the information as far as videos and things like that I wanted to get a sense of what NACA was. and who was using NACA and how the program worked and things like that. I didn't get a lot of that information, and that's another reason why I'm making these videos, because it wasn't there in the way that I needed to be or that I wanted to be. Now, strangely enough, as the months went on, and I'm NACA, and I'm already working with NACA and all this other stuff, you know, videos would pop up that I hadn't seen before that are older, of someone talking about NACA and things like that. But I'm like, now hold on, YouTube, you didn't show me this video when I was looking for stuff. But nonetheless, you know, there's not as many of them out there. And if you have worked with the NACA program, please put some information on your channel. Tell us about your journey and tell us what your experience was like. A lot of the information that I saw, I don't want to say a lot of it, but it was heavy. It was a little bit heavy on the negative side, of people who said, oh, I'll never work with NACA, or I will not work with NACA because they're too slow. It took too long. The process is too long. They want too much. My counselor wasn't this or that. And so I saw a lot of that before I started my process with NACA. I saw a lot of people saying that they did not go through with working with NACA. People who were saying, I've been in NACA for years. All these different things, and everybody's story is different. But you can't let those types of things deter you from exploring what is a good thing, or what could be a good thing for you, because everybody's situation, circumstance, and ideas are not the same. You've got to try it for yourself. And so for me, when I found out what NACA stood for, what it was all about, what their goals were, I'm like, this aligns with my goals. This is what I'm looking for. This will help me to be where I want to be at. I'm not trying to be big balling and shot calling out here. I just wanted a nice home. I wanted to have ownership. I wanted to have something that I'll be able to leave to my children one day. I don't have no children yet. But one day when I get married and have children, I'll have something. And that was important to me. So NACA had a lot of what I was looking for. I was not deterred by the negatives. I said, let me start this thing for myself. And I pulled up the information. I pulled up the website. I saw what the steps were. Before I did this, I looked up, as I was looking up things about NACA, I watched videos that I could find where people talked about the process and that it was a lot of paperwork and this and that. So I locked that in my mind. I knew it was going to be a lot of paperwork and a lot of entering information and data and yada, 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 yada. So I purposed that within myself that was going to be fine. Fine. They require a lot of paperwork. Let's do it. And so within the first week, I had put in everything that they required and started the process. And then I was assigned to a counselor. A counseling appointment was set for me like a month out. But I did a little prayer. I was like, okay, Lord, I wish that would start a little bit sooner. And, you know, they had an opening come up and they put me in there like the next week. So don't be deterred by other people's negatives. If you feel like this is the direction that the Lord is leading you, if you're somebody that don't believe in the Lord, but you feel like just common sense, the program could be a good program for you, go with it. Give it a try. What will you lose by trying? You will lose completely if you don't try. You will not have anything. You will not have what you're looking for. You will not have the results that you're looking for if you don't try. So there's a lot more to the process with NACA. I'll get into that in another video. I just wanted to talk about how I ended up deciding to go with NACA. What were the factors that made me even look for NACA? I just want to talk about that in this video. So I'm not going to belabor the point. I'm gonna get on off of here. It's nighttime. I'm ready for a snack or something like that. I just got home from work. I hope you all are blessed. I hope that as these videos come in, that it's a blessing to you. I pray that God would give you the desires of your heart, that he would enlarge your territory, that he would shine his face on you, and that he would make your way plain. Don't be afraid of the process. Just keep the Most High first, and whatever he's putting on your heart to do, do it. But make sure you're hearing from him. All right. Have a great night. Always trust the Most High's timing and know that his ways are far beyond us. We might not know what he's doing, but he knows exactly what he's doing. This is the picture of the second house that I saw, and I really fell in love with this house. I love the aesthetic. I love the way that it looked on the inside. And there you can see it was 3 beds, 1 bath, 960 square feet, and 235. That's a story in itself. This second image on the very top is the house that I put an offer in for right before I found mine. That offer ended up falling through these crazy means, and then I have mine. Just look at the difference. Look at the difference. Look what happens when we allow the Lord to do his thing. Just when I was deciding to settle for less, the Lord gave me exactly what I wanted, even though I was told that I shouldn't expect to get what I'd like to have in a home. No matter what the market is looking like, what your situation is looking like, keep believing that the Most High is working it out for your good. NACA stands for the Neighborhood Assistance Corporation of America. NACA is a nationwide nonprofit organization fighting for economic justice through affordable home ownership and community action. In order to check them out, guys, all you have to do is go to www.naca.com or search for an Achieve the Dream event near you. Don't hesitate. Check them out. Check out their YouTube page. Start now. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.